Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast that wouldn't die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool will give up a chance for a 30% discount.
Welcome to the last episode of the podcast That Wouldn't Die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
Wee.
This week, we're discussing the science fiction classic, Dark City, starring Rufus Sewell, Kiefer Sutherland, Jennifer Connelly. You've got William Hurt, Richard O'Brien. It's an all-star goddamn cast, to say the least. So, good
Interesting.
stuff. Interesting is one way to describe this movie. Each week on the podcast, we discuss guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genres with a comedic twist. Aaron, what's the latest with you?
I had to watch this movie twice because the first time I immediately tuned out and then fell asleep at the end. So I had to watch it all over again the next day, where about the same thing was going to happen. I didn't fall asleep this time, but I did immediately slide over to TikTok and go, oh shit, what happened at the end?
You're welcome, is all I can say. I was laughing because it was back to back with Jacob's Ladder to Dark City of movies that are confusing bullshit.
Dude, it makes Eraserhead seem so clear and linear.
It does indeed. It does indeed. So what else is going on, Aaron?
I didn't win the lottery, so
No.
I will continue in the field of education. How's that?
Yeah, that makes
My
sense.
day is filled with large periods of rotting, followed by spurts of activity. Only so I can go back to the rotting.
So your corpse is rotting, is what you're telling me.
That's the dream.
I often have said, and I'm sure I've said it 30 times on this podcast, that the pandemic wasn't so bad for me. I didn't mind it. I kind of like just chilling at home, watching movies. I sat in the jacuzzi for hours each day. It was good times.
I had no stress. I had well, except for getting COVID. I was afraid of that, but
that's bad.
I slept like a baby every night. I didn't have to worry. I could sleep in. I didn't have to worry about being late for work. It was a beautiful adventure.
Yeah, and as a teacher, it's like if a kid was being kind of mouthy, mute, then I didn't have to deal with it. I didn't have to bother another teacher. Would you take this kid off my hands for a few minutes? I didn't have to talk to the administrators. Mute. Good times.
I like that your kids were mouthy. Basically, I had to put a gun to my kids to make them say anything.
Well, it depends what we're talking about. There was a variety of different, because I think early on you'd have kids kind of doing drop-ins where they drop into your Zoom class to say something inappropriate and then bounce out. So we had that.
That was a classic.
Classic move. It was ding dong ditch. Yeah. So there were things. I also muted the chat function because I didn't want any sass there either. I said, you
I
get
muted the chat function because I didn't want them to send me crazy messages. They needed to speak out loud. Yeah, I did too.
no.
Because then I would ask a question. I'm like, so who da 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 da, and all of a sudden I get these little chat. I'm like, no,
Oh, so you
use
got
your human
response?
voice.
You got
Yeah.
you got
They had no
some
choice.
side of life. I
wasn't the only adult, so it was me yelling into the screen and my IA sitting at her house calling everybody's parents who wasn't performing.
Oh, that's good. We didn't have any
Yeah.
such method to get people to get more
Such
involved.
nonsense.
Right. It's a whole thing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That was 5 years ago.
The good old days.
As we call it in the biz, the good old days. 100%. Sweet Jesus. Now we watched Dark City. You finished it yesterday. Is that correct, Aaron?
I believe the term is rewatched it yesterday. I watched the whole thing again.
Gotcha.
Kind of.
I watched it a couple weeks ago. So as I'm sitting here, I'm going, do I remember the ins and the outs of this plot? I guess we're going to find out together, ladies and gentlemen, because it's.
I almost said that. I was like, there's probably nothing really happened in that last 20 minutes that I fell asleep in. And then, contraire, mon frere.
Mon frere. Now give us your 30-second synopsis of Dark City.
Oh my God. The dude from Man in the High Castle is living in a dark city where eventually he becomes God. And Richard O'Brien Riff Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show pops in to stir up some shit. And quite frankly, he's not a bad actor. And he has worked a lot.
Define a lot.
Phineas and Ferb.
Okay, that's something. He was in something that I feel like we reviewed because he's
been in a lot of stuff.
He has. If he's not in full riffraff regalia, it's easy to miss that that's who we're talking about.
It's true. In fact, I remembered after it was over, so I made a point of paying extra attention when I had to watch this movie for the second time. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's totally him. Totally him.
Yes. He's prominent. He's not just some background actor. No. He's arguably the antagonist of this movie.
Absolutely. It's Rufus and Richard. It's the Rufus and Richard show.
I remember when this movie came out where Rufus, who was not somebody I knew on sight, I'm like, there are people in this movie that I recognize. And then the main character is a dude that I don't think I was familiar with at all. And they did that in the 90s from time to time, where it's like, here's a guy we think's going to be big, so we'll make him the lead, and then things happen.
Are you talking about Rufus or William Hurt?
I'm talking 100%. We've talked about William Hurt is in this movie for some freakish reason. We've talked
and
about,
I kind of take back my William Hurt hate from previous episodes. That might have been a hangover from Scanners or what was it? Altered States.
Scanners.
He was an attractive fella.
He was a handsome
He is
dude.
monotone. He is monotone.
Yes.
Am I right? Or
in the 80s, he was a handsome guy. But even when he was winning Big Chill, he was winning Academy Awards up the yin yang. And at the time, I was like, is he a good actor? I'm not so sure. Because we talked about...
Is he better than Costner? Yes. Is he that much better than Costner? Not sure. He's maybe just more attractive.
Here's
it's the blondes. I don't care for the blondes.
You don't care for them. It's often been said, even though most of our family, blondes. Interesting. Doesn't count.
Most of our family may be blondes, but if they couldn't go to the salon, they would not be.
Well, now they're mostly gray, but in the prime of life, it was blondes as far as the eye could see, Aaron. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade.
Go ahead, brother.
Anyway, what I was going to say is that William Hurt, and we've talked about this before, that I think it's hard to act like a normal person on camera. Just acting, I'm not even saying you have to be Meryl Streep. Just putting two words together in front of a camera and have it sound natural is not easy. Just
It's not
that
as
much.
easy as you think.
Not as easy as
Even
you think.
when I did the audio drama when I was Mr. Pink in the women-only version of Reservoir Dogs,
That's correct.
and I did not rehearse at all because I took drama in high school and I figured this would be a piece of cake. And then halfway through it, and they're like, "Oh, and you're also this other character. Didn't we tell you?" And I said, "What?"
Does that other character also drop the N-bomb nonstop? Can I bring that from roll
Dude,
to roll?
I could go on for that for 20 minutes. So after I'm reading the stuff because it's Quentin Tarantino, so you drop the N-word every 2 minutes, and I'm Mr. Pink. So I'm Buscemi dropping the N-bomb.
100%.
Halfway through it, the women are like, "I don't feel comfortable." I was like, "Oh, shut the hell up. It's too late to turn back now." Have y'all never seen this movie before?
Right.
Get out of here.
100%.
So now I'm the bad boy. Now I'm the racist.
They left you hanging out to dry, truth be told. You were going to be a real like Tarantino person, and they said, you're going to be there alone. So
yeah, it was a little too late. Too late. Too late. Continue.
So, but that's my point, is it's like, it's not easy just to sound natural, okay? And I gotta say, William Hurt, it's a 50-50 proposition whether he can literally just speak in a way that seems normal. Now, in this movie, he's not bad at that. But in his heyday in the 80s, when he was winning Academy Awards, I was like, whoa, what's up with that line delivery? It was like Al Pacino meets Jeff Goldblum, and where
he
it's
does
that kind
not
of craziness.
emote.
That's
he
an
just
issue.
kind of talks in a monotone way and looks at you sorrowful. But he's not one for demonstrating emotions of any kind.
He won Academy Awards in the 80s.
Dude, I've seen some of this shit. Well, and it was the 80s, so what do you know? I don't give a crap if it was nominated for Academy Award. There have been so many Academy Award. Even this year, I was like, really? Really, yeah. Frankenstein? What? Get out of here.
Fair.
It's rigged.
Fair.
Rigged.
Touche. So, had you ever seen this before, Aaron?
Never seen it. Never heard of it. I really thought you were going to serve me up a warm, steaming blop of Sin City, which I also don't like. I thought they were the same movie.
Okay, that's fair. I had never seen this before, but I remember when I was in college in the late 90s, I was in theater, and I remember this. I don't know why I still think of this. I remember some of the theater girls had gone to see Dark City. So they thought it was hilarious. They'd go around and go, "Sleep," to people every now and again. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like,
dude, I might do that tomorrow.
Go ahead.
I'm going to do that tomorrow, literally, because that's the only takeaway from this movie. It is literally, they've captured everyone from Dune and put them in the Matrix.
Yes, 100%. It's Baron Harkonnen or whatever the hell. Right.
Dude, 100%. And then the leader of the Strangers, he's literally Darth Vader when that one scene where they had to take his helmet off and he has the breathing thing under his chin. I'm like, and that's Darth Vader. This is, who is the creative dude in this? Come on.
Unclear. Well, and that's the thing. We literally just discussed a movie called The Strangers a few episodes back, and now the villains of this movie are also called The Strangers. So
I feel like I'd rather have These Strangers. I don't want that big needle in my head, though.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Did you give us a 30-second synopsis? I mean, it seems like it's nonsense.
Yes.
It's hopeless.
The whole thing is nonsense.
Correct. Shall we jump into
first
the
of all,
highlights? Go ahead.
nothing makes any goddamn sense. So the strangers captured these people from somewhere, brought them to this platform because the strangers are dying, and they're trying to live through them, implant something in them. But then they scramble their brains every day and change memories. Explain to me, what was the purpose? What were they doing? It was like Superman. They were all going to die, but I don't know. Are we the hosts? Does the whole place become Earth at the end? Is this the beginning of Earth? What?
So, from what I can gather, and people at home who've seen this movie, they may be saying, "You fools, it's obviously this," or they may be shrugging and going, "I also have no idea." From what I can gather, the strangers are an extraterrestrial race who, and they don't explain this, have captured a city of people and put them on like kind of a spaceship platform where the roof is open. Is that right? To space? But they can never have it like face the sun because it's Dark City, because the aliens don't like the sun. It hurts them. So they go, "Oh no." And they're trying, because they're dying, they're trying to figure out the soul of people, find out what's the origin of the soul, and their plan.
What's the point of the scrambling the memories?
I can't. I think they think if they move, like basically like you said, every night the fucking strangers come down and go sleep, and everyone just kind of slumps over and goes to sleep. And then I guess Kiefer Sutherland, who's the one human who is a scientist that they've basically recruited to help them, I guess he sticks a needle in everybody's head, pulls out their memories, and then runs to the next goddamn
giant city.
Yes. Yeah. From what he either sucks their memories out and then trades them, or he like kind of brews the memory in the chemistry lab, puts it in a syringe, and then sticks it. But again, he has to physically stick a hypodermic needle into every fucking person's forehead to implant the memories. And I guess,
and it's clearly New York, so he's like Santa Claus, but it's every night.
Yes.
If Santa Claus stuck a needle in your forehead.
Correct. He is literally like Santa Claus. You know, Mr. Sandman flying from rooftop to rooftop is basically what he is doing. Oh, sweet Jesus. Like literally that would be like, he'd have to do that 24 hours a day. Basically. Yeah, they'd have to be like sleep. Because I guess it's supposed to be like kind of New York and kind of a noirish time. We're supposed to think. God damn it.
So like 30s, 40s New York?
Something like that. Something like that. Like that's the vibe they're going for. While also kind of including this weird extraterrestrial thing. Because the dudes do look like the Cenobites meet the Matrix, essentially.
Yes.
And they wear fedoras sometimes and shit.
It's the Cenobites meet Dune meet the Matrix.
Correct. 100%.
Where everybody's got to wear a leather gown.
Yes, it is. It's like a muumuu, a leather muumuu they have to wear around town for some reason. And I God help us all. So
is it because the aliens hunted all their cows to extinction? That's why they had to move on, because where are they going to get their leather outfits after that?
Yes, that's the subtext of the movie. They have to find a new. So
they need more cows, more cowbell.
I gotta have more cowbell. So, in addition to their abilities to just go sleep and then people fall asleep, they can also do, and there's a term for it that just jumped right out of my brain. They have the ability to change reality with their minds and shit. So
buildings move and such.
Correct. Every night, while people are passed out and Kiefer's jabbing them with needles in the forehead, they, for no reason, use their reality shaping abilities to kind of change like the landscape. Like the skyscrapers, some get bigger, some get
Buildings bump
smaller.
into each other. Yeah,
Right.
nonsense for no reason. Who knows why?
It's unclear why this is necessary. Now the movie
Nor will it
begins.
ever be clear.
And no, if you're waiting for a big explanation, keep waiting. The
Yeah.
movie starts off because Rufus Sewell has woken up and he doesn't have any memories. Doesn't know shit. But he also kind of intuitively has those same kind of reality shaping abilities. And that shit is never explained. I think they say, like, Kiefer says, like, well, maybe he's the next step in evolution. It's like, how? It's the same body. It's the same person. You've changed his memory. You didn't change his body.
The
Unclear.
only way it could really happen, it has to be Kiefer Sutherland. But why isn't he doing it to everybody?
Kiefer Sutherland, later in the movie, because he's working for the evil aliens, but kind of under duress. It's like he also doesn't want to help them, but he's kind of stuck. He also, I guess, lost all of his memories. Like they agreed, like the aliens agreed not to put him to sleep, and
they made him erase his memory. Yeah,
but they made him erase his memory. So Kiefer.
Well, then how come it didn't erase all the science parts?
Unclear. Questions that will never be answered. How did all these people get here? Right? That will never be explained. Why do we have to shuffle their memories? That will never be explained. Why is Rufus Sewell, like, why does he have superpowers as well? And how will discovering what a soul is, how will that help the longevity of the crazy pale freaks? Unclear.
Honestly, I thought the whole idea was to hollow the people out so they could inject themselves in there. But no, that wasn't it. So they're still dying, but we're just one last science experiment?
Yes. That's basically
unexplained.
Unexplained. So, and that's the thing. He's woken up in this kind of noirish kind of thing where it's like, you know, he's Philip Marlowe or Sam Spade or somebody. Where it's like everybody,
but not in a good way.
But not in a good way. We'll go to the diner and, like, I don't know, some girl in a hat will, like, kind of flirt with him a little bit. And there's Jennifer Connelly, who's allegedly his wife, who's like, honey, you don't remember? And I guess they're saying they aren't really married. They just have the memory at this moment. They just have the memory of having been a couple. And here's the other thing about that. Clearly, they're not changing their memories every night because multiple nights occur and William Hurt is still William Hurt. Jennifer Connelly is still Jennifer Connelly. Everybody else is still
and lest we forget, there's a serial killer loose in the town.
Correct. They were doing an experiment on Rufus. Allegedly, this was their plan. They were going to frame him, give him the memories of a serial killer, and frame him for the murders to see if he would just say, well, shit, I guess I better just keep on killing people. Because I guess I'm a serial killer. I might as well just do that shit. I have a memory. I mean, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. So might as well just start stabbing people, I guess was his thing. But they never got to test it out because what happened? Kiefer's about to stick him with the needle, and then he gets, homie does a little sleep shit with his fingers as well, and Kiefer gets distracted and he drops the syringe. So now he's roaming around with no memory. This fucking movie.
The only thing I like is there's a tiny little stranger called Mr. Sleep who whispers things in the giant's ears. That's the best part. He looks like a little Fester Adams, who like whispers.
Yes, they often did that where it's like homie's like in an alley turning around going, oh my God, somebody's chasing me. And you'll see one normal sized person, one really tall person, and one little short person all wearing like a black duster and a fedora, like chasing him. And he's just like, I guess I'm running. I don't know who these guys are, but I guess I'm running. Because who knows?
Because
There's
they're
little
not
baby
running;
Fester.
they're like flying. Little baby Fester is flying along.
Who's got like fangs and shit. Yeah, that was good times. Oh God, damn
Oh
it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here's a
Mm-hmm.
question for you. At what age do you think Jennifer Connelly stopped having like her baby face? Because this is like late 90s, and she still looked the same as she did when she was like in the Labyrinth back in '84.
I know so little about Jennifer Connelly. I don't know if she's 22 in this movie or 45. I know nothing of her.
I'm trying to think when it was, because it wasn't a few years later. She was in like A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe, like probably 5 years later, and then she
An
looked like an
Academy
adult
Award.
woman.
Yeah.
She looked like an adult woman in that one, whereas this one, I mean, a beautiful lady, but looked very young.
Beautiful lady. Yeah, she still had like really soft features.
Right.
I think
She
in
did.
Hollywood though, once you hit 30, they expect you to strip down to sinew and bone. And now she's playing adult roles. No, seriously. Because in this movie, she kind of looked like Demi Moore in that last Demi Moore thing where she still had like a baby face.
Right. I agree.
Later on, Demi Moore is down to, bone and Slim Jims. So
she's the substance, is what you're saying at some point.
she's the substance.
Interesting.
Nothing but sinew and bone. And that's Hollywood for you. They expect you to be razor blade thin.
It's true.
But in the 80s, it was still okay to have like a baby face.
Well, she was young in the 80s. She was like a teenager in the 80s. You could be a teenager and have baby face features.
Look at those girls from Wicked. They don't even have sinew. It's just bone.
No,
those are adult women.
That's a thing. Well, and again, Ariana Grande, it's like she looks, I mean, honestly, I saw Wicked for Good. She looks like she's 14, but like, yeah, an emaciated 14. She looks young as hell.
You would be shocked because, as they say, you look heavier on film. So imagine what she looks like. I remember, this is going the old-timey, but I remember running into Ed Marinaro back in the Hill Street Blue days. And he was a football player. And he looked normal on TV. And you could tell they're much thinner in person.
For some reason, it's like their thinness in reality plays as just normal. You're like, when they're on screen. But you're absolutely right. It's like every actor you see, unless they're comically heavy, are like really skinny. They're really thin.
They're much thinner than they appear when you see them in person.
100%. And the people who you think of as like heavy, if you saw them in person, you'd be like, are normal. It is, because the camera does. It's like, the big joke is like, hey, the camera adds at 10 pounds. It's like, well, how many cameras are on you then? My goodness. Because, that is a crazy thing. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, what else we got on this? Anything? Dark City?
Not a goddamn thing. He's running around. It also reminds me of Total Recall, where it's not his wife. And then he goes to people who he thinks are, like bits of his memory are coming back. So he goes to people who he thinks are friends to get information, and they betray him. Right. This is like bits and pieces of more popular movies, or smashed together to try to create something.
I'm kind of a mind.
It's not original enough.
I feel that if your movie is kind of predicated on a big mystery, that when the mystery is revealed, it needs to be clear what the mystery is. It needs to be like, light bulb, right? It should be like, okay, now it all comes together.
Like Memento. At the end of Memento, you're like,
100%.
At the end of this, you're not like, you're like, what?
Right. Did an alien scramble my brain as well? Is what I was wondering.
Maybe. It's happening right now with an egg beater.
100%. Have I also forgotten where I've been and what I've been doing? It's clear because you know me. I've done this before, where it's like you sit down. It's like 8:30 at night. I'm cozying up. I get my tablet out to watch a show. 5 minutes later, I'm sound asleep, and then I wake up 10 minutes after that, and I'm like, do I rewind? Who knows what's happening? It does. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. So, such is
I
life.
agree.
In the end, Rufus Sewell is flying around like Superman, and he's much more powerful than the strangers for some reason. Like he's trying to battle the master of the strangers and is kicking his ass. I'm like, how did this happen? You don't even know your name, homie.
Yeah. And then it's day one and Rufus is God. And instead of going back to wherever they came from, he just creates the earth.
He basically turns on the sun, which people don't, they're like, they think it's a normal day until earlier in the movie. They're like, oh, it's just nighttime. He's like, well, do you remember the last time you saw the day? And they're like, oh yeah, it was, now you mention it, I don't know if I've ever seen the sun or
everybody is dumb. Everybody's brain is so scrambled that they can
Correct.
barely have a coherent thought.
It's a thing. It's a thing. And here's the thing. So they've destroyed the strangers. I guess Rufus Sewell can control the spaceship floating around, but people still don't have their real memories. It's not like he goes, now awake. That would have been something. Awake. And now they go, oh shit, now my memories are back. But that doesn't happen in this movie.
They're gone forever. I think this is day one. Basically, it's day one of Earth.
Correct.
And let there be light. And then there were the seas. So everything starts from this moment going further. And then Richard O'Brien shows up at the end and just was like, hey, guy, I'm dying now. What's up? Sorry about all that. And then the sun touched him and he was like vampire. And then just kind of fell away somewhere. I'm like, what the f*** was that?
Let's do the time warp again, is all I'm going to say on
Dude, it's just a jump to the left.
Shall we go behind the scenes?
You might as well, because there's nothing in front of the scenes.
No, there ain't. Let's see. A number of pieces of the set, including those used for the rooftop chase, were sold to the production of The Matrix at the end of the shooting.
Boom.
How about that?
It's interesting. So The Matrix was after this.
After this. There were many deliberate anachronisms to give the viewer a feeling of confusion about the time period of the film.
Oh, is that why I was confused? Yeah. Yes. Is that the reason? Okay.
Yeah. New Line Cinema forced director Alex Proyas to include the opening narration by Kiefer Sutherland, which gives away several plot reveals. The director objected to it, saying it was unnecessary, and he subsequently removed the narration from his director's cut, which I'm sure is unintelligible. It's like, I always say, Blade Runner. Blade Runner without the voiceover is boring. It's tedious. It's tedious.
I need the voiceover. It's noir. You always have that voiceover. F off everyone who doesn't agree with me.
Fair. That's a fair reaction. Alex Proyas got the idea for the buildings changing and growing, while the crew was moving pieces of the set around during filming of The Crow in 1994. How about that?
You know, I've never seen The Crow.
That's not bad. I enjoy it. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. In the film's original theatrical release, Emma Murdoch, Jennifer Connelly, is depicted as a singer in the nightclub. The songs were sung by Anita Kelsey, and Jennifer Connelly is lip syncing. However, in the director's cut, which we were thankfully did not watch, Connelly's own vocals are used. And I wonder
unnecessary.
Has one of the shortest average shot lengths of any modern narrative production at 1.8 seconds. That means there's a cut almost every 2 seconds.
That's market quality. But they're bragging about that?
That sounds like a nightmare.
Nice.
Can you imagine you're the editor?
Yeah.
Every 2 goddamn seconds, I gotta fucking
Take a
splice
step.
this.
Cut.
I hate editing this podcast.
Dude, it sounds like this is like horseshit. That's what it sounds like.
Maybe. Alex Proyas wrote the part for Mr. Hand, especially for Richard O'Brien. How about that?
Uh-huh.
Have you checked out? Have you given up are you surfing the internet right now?
I'm already moving up for the next thing we have to discuss.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Some have asked Alex Proyas why the strangers didn't get rid of Walensky, the former investigator who went mad and who knows something otherworldly is going on earlier. The director points out that leaving him the experiment was something of an experiment in and of itself to see how Walensky would react and how people would react to him. How about that?
He killed himself, right?
Yeah. So there you go.
Great.
Roger Ebert called this the best movie of 1998. He recorded a special audio commentary track for the DVD release of this movie. Good Lord.
There must have been no movies in 1998.
There are absolutely no movies that year.
I'm Googling that. Keep talking. I'm Googling it. Top movies in 1998.
Well, instead of doing that, why don't we talk about the cast and crew?
Go ahead.
Let's see. Director and writer, Alex Proyas. You know him from such things as Dark City in 1998. I, Robot in 2004, which I enjoyed. That's a Will Smith joint. Knowing in 2009, that's a Nicolas Cage movie, which I did not see. And The Crow in 1994. Let's see.
Right. Stop right there.
Lay it on me.
Top movies of 1998. Saving Private Ryan. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Armageddon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's slim pickings. Rush Hour. Practical Magic.
Well, that was the year that Saving Private Ryan was nominated for Best Picture. It won Best Direction.
Blade.
But
Big Lebowski.
But the winner of that year, Best Picture, was Shakespeare in Love, which I loved.
I love Shakespeare in Love. American History X. The Wedding Singer. Who doesn't love that?
Love The Wedding Singer.
City of Angels, which I still have never seen.
Let's talk about the cast, shall we?
This is not one of the best movies of 1998, is my point. Roger
He called
Ebert,
it
come on.
The best movie. not one of the best. Sweet Jesus.
Poor man.
Rufus
They
Sewell,
scrambled his brain.
Rufus Sewell played John Murdoch. You know him from such things as he was in A Knight's Tale in 2001, playing the villainous Count Adhemar. He was in Dark City, of course. He was in Tristan and Isolde, where he played the guy trying to keep them apart, as per usual. For like 10 years, Rufus Sewell played like the dastardly other guy. He was in The Illusionist in 2006, playing the same role.
I did see that.
I enjoy it. It's the one that's not The Prestige, is what I always tell people. It's the other
right.
one.
I always would get those two confused because they came out. There was the two magic movies that came out at the same fucking time.
Yep. Kiefer Sutherland.
But really, Rufus. No, back it up. Rufus Sewell, Man in the High Castle. If you have not seen the series, you have to see it. He is a Nazi and he has this whole amazing arc. It is an amazing series. I read the book too, and Philip K. Dick kind of gives you an outline for his stories, and they just did an amazing job with that. Man in the High Castle. Go see it.
He's on The Diplomat right now with Kerry Russell on Netflix. So there you
Bad guy, good guy.
Ooh, interesting question. Maybe
Are
a little
you not
of this,
watching
little
it?
of that. No, I am. He's
right.
a complex character. Let's just say that. Let's
And
see.
he does that very well.
He's good. He's even
He's
doing it in
he's a
American
good
accent in
actor.
this, and he's not bad at all. No, he got typecast. He was kind of like how Colin Firth was always the evil guy early on, and then kind of
Was
transitioned.
he?
Yeah, early on he was
Oh,
always the
Circle of Friends. Circle of Friends. He was the bad guy, and then he
100.
became Mr. Darcy.
He did. He was the bad guy in Shakespeare in Love. He was
You're
always the
right.
bad. Yeah. Kiefer Sutherland played Dr. Daniel Schreber. You know him from such things as 24, 192 episodes of 24, which I enjoyed actually.
Never
Uh,
saw it.
he was in something called Mirrors in 2008. He was
Nope.
in Phone Booth playing the caller in
Oh,
2002.
do not
Uh,
know.
something called Melancholia in 2011. Ringing any bells?
I have a touch of the melancholia today,
You do.
but I took
Ennui.
some aspirin.
That'll clear it right up. A little penicillin.
Dude,
Uh,
are you forgetting what his top production is?
I'm not. I just read what IMDb says. What would you like to add to it?
Oh, now I'm having a brain fart. What's the vampire? What's the vampire movie he
Lost
was in?
Boys. Lost
Well, he
Boys.
was a lost boy. He was a sweet little baby Jesus in that too. He was very cutie patootie.
Kiefer Sutherland is really kind of the poster child of somebody who was big in the 80s, end of the 80s, into the 90s. He was still kind of hanging around, Flatliners, a few other things, and then it was just like the curtain dropped, boom, and
Yeah,
suddenly he's
agree.
if you watch A Time to Kill, he's like fifth Klansman, and you're like, what? Why are you taking this role? But you got to take what you got to
I
take.
know. Bills got to be paid.
Bills got to be paid. It wasn't until 24 came out in 2001 that suddenly he was like a successful TV star, and that kind of helped him
Yeah.
kind of get back into the movies again.
I don't know what
Let's
his
see.
issue is. Perhaps he is difficult to work with. I don't know. I feel like he should have been
Unclear.
working more.
Unclear. Jennifer
All right.
Connelly played Emma Murdoch. You know her from such things as A Beautiful Mind in 2001.
Amazing
House
movie.
of Sand and Fog, 2003.
I don't know if I saw that. That sounds like something I might have seen.
Uh, she was Betty Ross in 2003's Hulk. How about that? With Eric Bana as
Is that the
titular
one
character.
with is that the one where it had the Led Zeppelin song with little tiny Hulks zipping around?
I don't think so. She was
Maybe
in,
that was Ragnarok.
that was the good one, and that was not. She was
That was
not
the
in
good
that.
one. Oh,
She was
womp
in.
womp.
She was in Requiem for a Dream in 2000. How about that? All sorts of good
She
stuff.
picks fancy name movies.
She does. Obviously, she was in Top Gun Maverick. She was in
Didn't say
Labyrinth.
that.
She was in Phenomena. The Giallo. That was Argento's Phenomena. How about that? Back in the
Did we
80s.
already watch that?
No, add it to the list.
Boom. Boom. I think it is
William
on our list, as a matter of fact.
should be. William Hurt played Inspector Frank Bumstead. Good Lord.
God, what a
You,
name.
you know him from A History of Violence in 2005.
Didn't see
Lost
that.
in Space in 1998.
Oh, come on, brother. That's not a good choice, William Hurt.
That was not a good choice. Altered States in 1980. And of course,
That's a freak show.
that is absolutely, and we've done it on this show.
Yeah.
In 1987, he was in the immortal classic Broadcast News. How about that?
I know I've seen it. I just can't remember it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's got Albert Brooks and Holly Hunter.
And he won an Academy Award, Accidental Tourist.
I think he was nominated for Kiss of the Spider Woman and Children.
I
of the Lesser
forgot he
God.
was in that.
Yeah,
I only remember Raul Julia in that.
yeah. Richard O'Brien played Mr. Hand, not to be confused with Mr. Hand from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You
That was
know
my
him.
favorite Martian.
That's right. Ray Walston. You know him from the Rocky Horror Picture Show in 1975, playing Riff Raff, a handyman.
Yes.
He was Mr. Hand in Dark City in 1998. He was in the spiritual sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show, Shock Treatment, in 1981.
Which I've never seen.
I haven't seen it either. It's not real high on my list, though, if I'm being honest.
I might push it up.
He was in Ever After, a Cinderella Story in 1998.
I did not see that. I remember hearing when that came out.
That is amazing. You said Phineas and Ferb. He was in 102 episodes of Phineas and Ferb. I cannot believe this. Good grief. That's about it. Let's look at the rating, shall we?
Let's go.
Dark City currently has on Rotten Tomatoes 78% certified fresh. Do you know what the audience picked for it?
68.
85.
Oh.
Boom! Boom! Shocking.
No.
Shocking, I know.
I'm giving it one poop.
It's not your turn to give it one poop, for God's sake. Let's look at the top critics, shall we? Let's see. We've got Tom Charity from Time Out says, Murdoch's Quandary proves surprisingly engrossing. The art direction is always striking, and unlike most contemporary sci-fi, the movie does risk a cerebral approach, tapping a vein of postmodern paranoia. How about that?
I was going to get a cerebral hemorrhage. How about that?
If only. Am I right? Nick Shager of Lessons of Darkness says, an unsettling depiction of reality as elusive and ephemeral. B+. Roger Ebert says, Dark City by Alex Proyas is a great visionary achievement. A film so original and exciting, it stirred my imagination like Metropolis and 2001: A Space Odyssey. 4 out of 4.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God. Did we see? There must be a different movie of the same name, right? Is that the confusion?
Well, if there is, I'm not going to find out, right? I'm not going to start watching other
This is
Dark
exactly
Cities.
Like 2001. Yeah, absolutely. He's right up there with Kubrick.
He's right up there with Kubrick. It's often been said.
I mean, I'm not that big of a fan of 2001,
Right.
but please, let's not compare these two. These are in two different orbits, two different universes. For God's sakes.
For God's
sake. In the name of the Father.
Let's talk to our resident in-house movie critic, AI Rex Reed, and see what he has to say.
Let's go.
Dark City is a brooding noir nightmare where everyone whispers, the sun never rises, and the plot folds in on itself like a philosophy... Like I'm having an episode. Like a philosophy major who just discovered trench coats. How about that? Sweet.
How about that?
I apologize, AI Rex Reed.
AI Rex Reed. Oh, yeah.
He's outraged.
And this is why AI is not ready to take us over yet.
I'm having, episodes, evidently, just reading it, for God's sake.
You can't read on a Monday. You know that.
Sad but true. What is your rating, Aaron?
I am going to rate this confusing ball of nonsense a 2.5 out of 5.
Boom.
I will not watch this again. It is just confusing nonsense. It makes no sense. No amount you know what? No amount of art direction and sets are going to fix this. I mean, don't get me wrong, because I have to watch all those fucking Keanu Reeves movies just because they're just so gloriously beautiful. Not the case. Continue on. 2.5
mean,
out of 5.
look, I'm right there with you, but I'm frankly shocked you said 2.5. You love all that David Lynch shit, or Lost Highway, or Mulholland Drive, where it's
I
like,
do.
what does this mean? What does it all have to do with anything? I'm big on plot. I like to know that there's a plot somewhere buried in a movie. And this, too many questions. I don't like unanswered questions. I'm out. 2.5.
I feel like David Lynch makes his film a certain way deliberately.
Yes.
I feel this confusion is not planned. It is people just not keeping their eye on board.
Fair enough.
I think it's just sloppy. How about that?
It's, who knows, man. It's one of those things where it's like, was this a choice to make it deliberately opaque, or is this just bad filmmaking? Unclear.
How does someone not read the script and go to the end? They're like, so why did they do this? Are they so enmeshed that only people on the inside are reading the script, so they're just all feeding off each other? Didn't an outsider ever read this and go, this doesn't make any sense?
I'll tell you what, me watching this movie, every time they went sleep, I took them literally, and I took a little nap. I said, I'm out.
That's it. That is the best part. Little Doctor Sleep. And I wonder if that's where Stephen King got the idea, because this would have come before that. And go to sleep, because the kids, they're already getting on to my Caesar Milan stuff, where I go and whenever they're talking, they're like, I know what you're doing, miss. So now I'm just gonna wave my hand, sleep. Actually, they'd like that. I can't do that.
We would all enjoy it. I've often said, it's like, Mr. Doherty, you shouldn't send kids out of your room when they're misbehaving. They want that. Well, I guess we both get what we want then.
We both get what we want.
Good Lord. Anywho, any last thoughts on Dark City before we move on with our lives?
I'm not gonna give it another thought.
Boom. There it is. I've already forgotten it. Maybe the strangers are making me lose my memory. Right. 100%. So thank you very much. We're all across social media. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Threads, TikTok, Instagram. You can also watch us at YouTube if you're so inclined.
You can.
You can indeed. You can email us the podcast that wouldn't die at Gmail. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So don't forget to like, share, rate, and review. Won't you?
Won't you please?
Aaron, what is your social media situation?
I have much media. I'm on Artsy and First Dibs, Aaron Doherty, Instagram's Gallery, and I am on the Gram. The Cult of Aaron. Join the cult.
Boom! As you know, we like to see what our friends and family have to say across the social media landscape. Aaron, what are the streets saying?
Zombie Gangs made a comment about The Strangers, that the first one's the only really good one. But
fair,
I have to say, I don't really like the first one anyway.
Okay, I don't like not rushing out to see all the prequels and sequels.
No. I'll let you do that. Friend. You can do where they do watch you all 95 of The Strangers.
Why not?
After this 95, are they strangers? Aren't they your neighbors or your friends now?
At least acquaintances, right? At some point, they become acquaintances. Yeah,
colleagues.
100%. Next week, we're discussing the horror classic, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. It's important because there was actually a remake that came out last year. We're talking about the original 1992 classic.
Rebecca De Mornay.
Who was a stone cold fox back in the day. Love me some De Mornay.
and remember
Um,
who her father was
you
from
always
old
tell me
Orange
that.
County
What's his
TV.
name? What's his name? Tell me
Wally
again.
George.
Wally George. It also has Annabella Sciorra, who I also thought was foxy. Matt McCoy,
Yeah.
who Aaron hates, and
Hate.
Ernie Hudson from the Ghostbusters, which I didn't even remember him being in this. So good stuff.
Yeah. He's the
How do
handyman.
and he is great. I've often
And the
said
dude who plays Q from Next Generation.
correct. He's touching people.
In
Who
a
shouldn't
very
be touched.
unlikable role.
Yes, you don't want to play that role. Honestly,
No.
it's
The
like
gynecologist with the wiggly fingers.
you don't want to. Frankly, it's like you don't want to be the dude in the herpes commercial where it's like I've learned to live with it thanks to Bleezablom. Anyway, you don't want that either. So you
No
can
one
watch.
screams when they see my ulcerative penis anymore.
That is very upsetting when that used to occur. No longer do I have to suffer the embarrassment. Ulcerative. Yeah. Good use of the word ulcerative, by the way. Oh, God damn it. If you have the Criterion collection, then you can watch it for free. Otherwise, you're paying full freight.
What?
$3.99 on Prime, $3.99 Apple TV, $3.99 on YouTube and Fandango at home. But here's something: if you're so
Yes.
inclined, you can actually buy it for $4.99. Is it worth that extra
Dude,
dollar? It might be.
I've seen it at least half a dozen times. I believe I have it memorized. If you want, I can make you a graphic novel out of scribblings.
Could you just act it out for me, Aaron? Can we do
I could.
live reading?
And the obsessive playing of HMS Pinafore, which is the one Gilbert and Sullivan I don't actually know. But why do you sing it every day? Maybe Daddy's has a bit of the tism. I don't know.
That'll do it every time. Let me tell you. Is that okay? HMF Pinafore, is that related to Pirates of Penzance? That's my question. Because wasn't there also the
They're
Pinafore?
both about boats.
But I thought I Am the Very Model of a Modern Major General was from...
I don't know why that appears in both.
It's in
Does
both?
it appear in both? I will tell you, they sing that in the movie, the one with Kevin Kline and Rex Smith.
But do they say it in the movie with Christy McNichol and Christopher Atkinson's, the immortal pirate movie?
Oh, the lesser. The other one was almost everyone from Broadway, with the exception of the Pirate Queen, where it was the chick from Roseanne instead of Angela Lansbury, or vice versa.
Roseanne
They threw
was
up
on
Angela
Broadway?
Lansbury. The lady who played Roseanne's mother
Okay. Fair.
was actually the one on Broadway who played Rex Smith's, and she got replaced by Angela Lansbury in the movie. I got some Pirates of the Penzance deep cut information because I was obsessed because Kevin Kline was so foxy in those leather pants.
It was big. It was big on Broadway in the early 80s. And therefore it inspired, they said, hey, what if we take this hot Broadway show and combine it with kind of a airplane ripoff where there's bizarre parody and Kristen McNichol and Christopher Atkinson are doing shit. It is bizarre. If you haven't seen the pirate movie lately, not funny, although it tries desperately to be funny. Good stuff.
Pirates of Penzance, because you got the all-star cast.
Not pirate movie?
And Linda Ronstadt was in it. It was like everybody.
No. But not.
But they said she was so difficult that she wouldn't read any lines, so she had to sing all her lines.
She has a beautiful voice.
Yes.
Not like Christy McNichol. She's no Christy McNichol, though, let me tell you. Anywho, so
you are no Christy McNichol.
I know Christy McNichol, sir, and you are no Christy McNichol. Anywho, so send in your favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions about The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 1992, and we may talk about it on the show. So thank you very much, and be well.
Be well, children.